Andrew Clennell joins us now from Coal Country. He'll be in the seat of Patterson today. Andrew, first of all, before we get to what Peter Dutton's doing today, I find it extraordinary that Anthony Albanese days of the official campaign to talk about Reputex and Reputex's modelling like he didn't own that $275 promise. What is going on there?
Well, all I can say is he's ahead in the polls despite it all, Laura. And I'm with Peter Dutton today. We're in Tomago in the seat of Patterson. There's a 2.6% margin here. Let me be a politician here and answer your question with the answer that I want to give, I guess. So it really is energy wars. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing this in Albanese getting caught out in his $275 promise. And Peter Dutton, as I understand it, when he gives a press conference in about an hour's time or just under, will be again prosecuting this gas reservation policy. So a real focus on energy, as there will be through this entire campaign. But it has to be said, although the Labor Party has proven they're unable to deliver any sort of cut to your energy bills, which isn't taxpayer funded, there's no clear answer from either side on how or by how much your gas or power bills are going to be cut, whoever wins this election. And I think the best that most people can hope for, most householders and small businesses can hope for, is just that electricity bills don't keep going up. It's not about the cut. It's about them not actually continuing to increase. And perhaps politicians should be honest and say this, but I tried to draw an answer out of the Shadow Energy Minister, Ted O'Brien, yesterday on Sunday Agenda. Well, it's okay to announce this gas reservation. You say you're going to cut power prices, but is it by 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%? He wouldn't give an answer. Have a listen.
We're looking at gas going from over $14 today, this is the wholesale price, down to $10 or below.
And what does that mean
that's the objective.
What does that mean for the punter, for the small business, for the householder?
When it comes to that modelling, that'll be released, but it's clear that it is far cheaper than what Labor has planned, and it is good news to the punter because it will come through power bills.
Why can't you just tell me how much? I mean, why are we waiting for the release of some modelling? If you make a promise like that, shouldn't you say, your bills are going down 10%, 30%? Roughly 5%? Can't you just say that?
Eventually, the question was on nuclear, how much is it going to cost? What's going to be the impact compared to Labor? We answered all that in good time. And so now we've announced a gas policy which will reform the market.
Yeah, they're going to need a better answer than that, aren't they, Andrew? They're not going to want to fall into the same trap that Labor did with that $275 promise that is going to probably haunt them, or at least the coalition's going to try and haunt them with it every single day of this more than 5-week campaign. But, I mean, how's the mood on the buses? You've only been with Peter Dutton so far. You've had a couple of days. In these first couple of days, often the energy can be really high. Then, you know, they've got to keep up this energy over the next 5 weeks as well. And both leaders have been beset by protesters. They try to keep their plans very secret, but kind of give us a bit of an insight into the psyche and the mood of the camps.
Well, I think they're just battling away, aren't they? I mean, you've just got to keep presenting every day, sell your story, and hope the numbers turn your way. But I think what the news poll showed as much as anything is it was a tactically wrong decision, as I said last week, Laura, to say you're going to repeal income tax cuts. You're the party of lower taxes and you say you're going to reverse tax cuts. It seemed like utter madness. And I know that news poll held that later in the field to get the budget and get the budget reply. Well, you'd have to say the person who won last week was Anthony Albanese. But importantly for Peter Dutton, that was last week, 5 weeks before election day. He has 5 weeks to turn that around. But we need to see more policy from him, and he just has to stay upright and stay focused, disciplined, and present more of a vision. And he's still in the race. But right as things stand, the Labor side of things, they're very cocky, I can tell you, Laura. And perhaps they should be when their primary vote is actually up in that news poll from when they won 77 seats last time, a clear majority. So at the moment, that news poll presents a situation of Labor majority versus minority. Peter Dutton needs to get that back to the Labor minority versus coalition minority sort of thing, sort of situation. In terms of the bus, well, it's earlier than in other campaigns. The starts are regularly 4:30 here, so Peter Dutton's working hard. He's trying to get to as many places as he can. He's in Paterson. That's a 2.6 margin. He's not going to Hunter today, which is a 4% margin, which I think is telling. I think at the moment he's just trying to shore up these marginal Labor seats that the coalition were pretty confident of. But as one coalition source said to me, look, it's better that he makes any mistakes that he makes now and not closer to polling day, Laura.